at the gym. We're on day 67 of these 100 push-ups. So let's get into it. Hey, how are you guys? We're doing push-ups today, day 67. Give me just a second, we'll get to set number 3. Definitely appreciate some likes, subscriptions are free. What's up, Robin? Good morning, sir. How are you? Good afternoon, good evening. I know everybody's in a different part of the world, so appreciate you dropping in. How's it going today? How are you feeling? Hey, good morning, everyone. We're doing push-ups. I'm on set number 4. We're doing our 100 push-ups. Today is day 67. Likes are definitely appreciated, and subscriptions are free, so feel free to join. Why are you feeling bad, Robin? What happened? Are you sore from yesterday? What's up, Zariah's channel? How are you doing today? What's up, Cade? Hey, thank you, Zariah. Today is day 67 in a row of doing 100 push-ups. So we're doing 10 sets of 10. So you're always welcome to join anytime you like. Morgan, how are you today? Thank you, Cade. Hey, Morgan, how are you doing today? Appreciate you guys dropping through. And Zariah, if you have content you'd like for me to check out on your channel, hey, we can trade subs. I'm all for that, and checking out people and giving them their props and their plugs and stuff like that. So we're all here to build a channel, right? Morgan, I'm doing fantastic. How are you today? I'm on, nice to hear, nice to hear. I'm on set number 5 of my push-ups, so I'm gonna jump to number 5, but hang tight, and guys, thumbs up and subscriptions are free. Alright, we're halfway through it. We're at number 5. Or that was number 5. Mike, how are you, sir? I appreciate the comment yesterday that you left with John. You two are fantastic staples of support. Appreciate that, guys. Check out Make with Mike's channel as well. We're all here to support one another. Pretty good. That's how we want to hear it. I'm on set number 6 and just kind of moving along. I'm feeling good this morning. A little stiff in the legs from yesterday's legs, like the lunges and everything else, but that's a good feel to have. Let me get to number 6. All right, number 6, in the books. Nice. Nice. That's what's up. That's what we're talking about. That's why we're here. Showing that consistency and discipline. Nice work. That's what I like to hear. Here we go. Number 7. are cruising along. What's up, Stark? How are you doing? Stark in the building. Stark appreciated the message yesterday on Instagram. Guys, there's multiple ways to reach out and get in contact. Stark was the latest with Stark Tech from Make It With Mike. All right. I think we're on number 9. Today you have a rest day, yeah. What you said, was it, did you do back yesterday? Was it, or chest? You did a chest workout yesterday? All right, we got one more set. We're already cruising through. That's what's up. Make with Mike asked Stark. Stark, what's the latest with Stark Tech? And Stark said, make with Mike, I'm building a new machine. Me. That is so true. We are always in the lab. We're always creating the newest version of ourselves. Love it. Love the interaction. All right, we're at number 10. Just like that, Stark said yesterday, he did chest, bicep, tricep, shoulders. That is fantastic. And 15 minutes of sauna. So when you do the sauna, you go in for 15 minutes, then you get out. How long do you stay out for? And then go back in. And we're going to see how today you'll rest up, tomorrow legs and six pack. Six pack is definitely part of the formula. 5 minutes out, okay. Right on. Are you doing a dry sauna or are you doing like the hot, steamy? Steam is like the dry one, and then there's like just the hot, humid one. So we're going to take a crack at some pull-ups today. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Got some of the morning crowd in here. I mean, it's still like super low as far as people here. But what I don't want to do is get people involved on camera where I'm putting people's privacy at risk. Like, that's the one thing you got to be careful of. So I'm gonna go off in this far corner, and I think I'll be able to get it from there. Dry sun at 212 Fahrenheit. Mike, we think alike. Yeah, when you have the stairs and you can just go on the underside of them, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see if I can get us in a spot. Yeah, you definitely gotta stretch. I'm not a fan of this particular set, but I think that's all we got. I'm not sure who left this, but that's okay as well. I'm always okay on the first set, second set, but then sometimes it just starts to wear. It's the angles on those, for some reason they seem a little sharper, so I'm not a huge fan of them, but let's see what we can get. Actually, I think I'm going to take it over here real quick. Nobody seems to be really over here. All right. Mike says there's this book. I was reading about the book of stretches, and it says to start with 10 seconds and each day go up 10 seconds until you can hold it for 1 hour, one stretch. You can gain 3 inches of height. I have never heard of that. That's interesting. Did they say what stretches it was? After 6 months of using the method daily. Wow. No. I've never heard anything remotely close to that. The pull-ups definitely tax me. Probably like nothing else does. But I mean, rightfully so. It's your full body weight hanging. So sometimes you get those struggle reps. Was a bunch of back, leg, and arm stretches. No, have you tried it? Stark, have you heard of that as well? This gypsy guy I was in jail with at one time, and someone sent him this book, and he started implementing it. And I know we noticed he got like an inch or two taller than he was. Wow. That's interesting. I wonder what would happen if you implemented that like on a child, if that would really give them a growth spurt. But I would take it just if it kept me at my height, because it was seemed to compact over time. So I would definitely take that. All right, let's try another set. Yeah, stretching in sports is important. I do stretches also. Yeah, it definitely is. Prevents a lot of injury. I've seen that firsthand. Mike says it's called rec time, and we would leave for an hour, come back, and he would still be in that stretch position sweating. Wow. Stark says you do have to warm up, do stretches, do cardio. That's important. Absolutely. Get your body warmed up. Absolutely. Yeah, jumping in cold will definitely promote the possibility of injury. A lot of times before I start doing anything, I'll be here and I'll do 10 minutes of the bike, things like that, or just the steppers. Get your body going. Mike says true, we've pulled many muscles and they would hurt for up to a week or so. Trying to max out before warming up your muscles. Yep, haven't we all been there? That's the epitome of ego lifting. Absolutely the epitome, where you jump in and you just feel good. Stark says you don't need to do much, but half an hour cardio and 15 minutes stretching. Stretching out your body. Sage advice. Very good advice. You know, it's weird, if somebody left another one up there. I'm not sure what the exercise was. And being that they were two different resistances, kind of strange, but it is what it is. All right, let's see if I can get set number 3. This is where the resistance starts to get great. Mike says it's like our mental state wants to work out, but our body has to agree also. That is absolutely true. Yeah, especially when you're young, you're spry, you're ready to jump at it. What's up, Reluctant Gamer? How are you today? We did the 100 push-ups earlier, and now I'm doing some pull-ups. I got one more set of 10. So we're getting through it. How are you today, Reluctant? And Mike, I've been there many times where just feeling myself and I don't need that. That's youth. Wisdom tells us we need to stretch. Stark says my resistance is I don't eat ice cream in summer because I'm on diet and try to avoid sugar and fat. Hey, great idea. Reluctant Gamer, good to hear that you're doing well. Appreciate you jumping in, and we've always appreciated your comments about asking people to hit the like and subscribe to the channel. The support is appreciated. Reluctant Gamer says you struggle to do 5 push-ups, you're just starting, you got a belly. That is okay. That is okay. You just start where you start. And that's why we're all here, is to support each other where we are at, not where you don't need to be where we're at. Be where you're at, and somebody else is not where you're at, and you can kind of help them along. What's up, Oblico? He said, hi, Chuvak. I'm not sure what HWPO is. We are on set 4 of 4. I'm only doing 4 sets of the pull-ups. Then we'll get to some other back and bicep stuff. But I'm taxing here. I still feel the push-ups and chest workout from yesterday. Reluctant Gamer says, hi everyone, please like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the love and massive respect to everyone for tuning in. Absolutely. Ooh, I like that subscribe. I gotta get my emoji game up. Mike, absolutely. All right, let's struggle through this last set. Generally, let me see if I can just can I get to 5? If I can cut that in half, then the last bit, I'll be okay. But you know, sometimes we gotta get our mind going. Uh-oh, got a message held for review. Oblico says HWPO equals man. Nice. HWPO means buddy. It's Russian slang. I like that. Stark jumping in. Nice. Thank you guys. Hey, I'm gonna start using that HWPO. All right. Can we get a full here? Here we go. Oh, there's a coyote out there?
They headed up to the park.
Ah. Yeah, I've seen them in the mornings crossing over. All right. Somebody left these hanging up here. Yeah, I'm not.
Let me ask you something. You said you were adopted, not a good person. Were you adopted right at birth?
No, I was in a foster family as well.
Did you ever know your biological parents?
I met them, well, my mom.
Was that something did you always want to, or did you know right away?
No, I always knew, but when I got the chance, then yeah, I jumped at it.
The reason I'm asking is found out about 3 weeks ago on my dad. Never knew. 37-year-old daughter.
We've talked about this, yeah.
That my sister in California did that 23andMe DNA and found out my dad had another son when we lived in Texas, and that's why we're on the Greyhound bus back to Wyoming 3 months later, because he got a girl pregnant there. So he's our half brother, but through him, because the DNA matched and it wasn't making sense.
Yes.
My daughter was his niece, and they just couldn't figure it out.
How did that work? Because
he didn't really know my dad until my sister connected with this case, and he was, well, you know, you got a niece.
Yeah.
She goes, huh? She goes, yeah. You have a brother? And she goes, yeah. So my sister calls me, the one I'm fighting with, the blue header in California. Crazy. And I've talked to her in 7, 8, 9 months.
Yeah.
She calls the enrollment center and leaves a message, hey, this is real important, call me. Mom died, what happened? They call me, she goes, you know, you got a brother, half brother. So that's not all. You got a 37-year-old daughter. Huh? She goes, from Denver. You were 25. And I said, no, that ain't right. I was 24 when I was trying out with Denver. She goes, that she was born when you were 25. And there was only one hookup. So I thought, oh. She goes, and that's not all. She just had a baby boy. So
hey, you're good on top of it?
So you got a 5-month-old grandson too.
Wow. So you're going to meet?
Yeah, I've talked to her a couple times since.
Nice, nice.
And I'm thinking there's only 2 girls during that time, and one of them was my colleague's girlfriend, but we parted ways. Beautiful, she modeled over in Europe, modeled here, beautiful, beautiful. We parted ways. And that fall after I was cut from Denver, she did a pit stop here in Phoenix, and we hooked up, stayed the night. We got in trouble, she had a girlfriend, but she did the same thing to me in Italy, too. Showed up. So I thought it was her, so I kind of had an idea, and that would have been October, November. But I had one hook up in Denver, manager of a pizza hut. And I did this a few weeks earlier during one of the breaks, and everybody went out of town, and right before summer, one of the pizza huts locations wanted to do a fundraiser, and they needed a Denver Bronco representative. I was the only one still in town. So I'm a low-life free agent. I had made the team say, well, they'll take anybody.
Right.
All I had to do was deliver pizzas to tables, you know.
Wow.
And it was a fundraiser or something. News was there, and it was kind of neat. But they gave me a stack of coupons for free pizzas. So I was going to this, and that was a ways away, that store was, that pizza. So I was going to this Pizza Hut a couple of times by our training facility there in, I think, Aurora, where the training facility was, and they put us all on a Holiday Inn, which is a half mile from the training facility. And the first time was, she was either a store manager, but a hot black girl, this young hot boy. Store manager didn't believe me. And I said, yes, here's, hey, you want to see over here? Call that other store. It's pretty, you know, they gave me these coupons. So the second time after I looked back, I said, you know, hey, I said, they put living in the Holiday Inn right by the train facility. Come back and let's go swimming. I'll pick you up after your shift.
And 37 years later.
37 years later.
That's cool.
Yeah, it counted my brain saying, well, wait, oh. And the other half was Jack, just excited. Heck yeah. You know, other family, my sisters, you know, both of them say, hey, we had a kid, we know.
Right.
You know, you wouldn't know. I was an old alley cat back then. I didn't know. Probably more. If I could, my wife, Trish, ordered one of those DNA kits from the house, and not right back. I don't think you need any more shots.
Right.
I can handle one.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, just, you know, and so I'm talking to her, and I said, well, you know, they put us to go to the Pizza Hut girl, and she's real. She was real light. She thought she was mixed race, but she's not. In all black. It was like June, so I started doing the math. So I just casually said, so when were you born? Because I was thinking March or April was her. If it was July or August, it was my ex-girlfriend. Those were the only two Denver guys that I knew about this family. First time you went February, but I was born early. Into February, so that matched up with March.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I said, so the DNA, what's your ancestors? She goes, that's the funny thing. I'm half black. I said, bingo.
There you go.
Ah, yeah, so. You're a beautiful lady. Married, just got married a couple years ago to an Indian. I did find their wedding yesterday. I got bored over there. Started looking on Facebook and all but 100-some pictures of their Indian team, you know, the whole big time down in Cancun wedding. I talked to her husband this last week. I talked to her twice. This last time she had her husband now, so we should want to talk to him.
Nice.
So good. Nice people. So. We'll see.
There you go.
We will see.
Stark. I know. I felt bad. I didn't want to stop the live, but I didn't realize it was going to go into that much depth. Oblique, what is that saying? Mike, yeah, it's funny when you're working out, trying to listen to someone's details of someone's story. Facts. Good job multitasking. Good mental physical combo. Yeah. Oblique, I work in the medical field. How about you? I know, and you know, it's really cool. Like he's the coach and he's the trainer here. He's one of the trainers that watches the floor. So we talk all the time, but I think he's just not used to like when I'm going live. I feel kind of bad. I probably should have told him, but I had no idea he was going to jump into that much stuff. Oh, Stark, you just Googled the Russian. I'm gonna start doing that. I use the translator quite a bit when it comes to stuff. So this is where I try to keep it going. And man, I reluctant gamer, like and subscribe, man. I appreciate that. Does everybody mind? Like, what do you guys do for work? What are your jobs? Stark, you shared a little bit, but I understand if people don't want to give too much personal info. Yes, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We would love to hear from you guys. Reluctant, where are you at? Are you in the States as well? I appreciate that. Okay, you're in the USA? Stark works for the Deutsche Bahn, and the Berliner, I can't even begin on that second word, railway construction and site. Nice. Reluctant gamer, United Kingdom, England, Newcastle upon Tyne. Nice. What time is it there in the UK? Reluctant gamer, your muscles too weak for push-ups. Anything you can do? Yeah, dumbbells will help, but if you just have a countertop, like your kitchen countertop, not necessarily the table, but like a countertop, something fixed, you can just do push-ups off of that. So you could start off with something like this and just be able to do that. Push-ups don't have to be completely off of the ground. I wish I had something that was like a better example, but something that's just like your waist height. You can just kind of lean against it and do your push-ups off of that. You can start with that. Just be very deliberate, and the way that I describe a push for a push-up is if you were to push somebody, you would push this way, so you're not necessarily flaring the elbows out. Our natural inclination isn't to push this way. You want to push in your natural movement. You want to be able to do it off the ground. Sometimes it's a progress. Sometimes it's just working your way up. Or you can do it, you can try it on your knees. And just be able to go like this. So you have options, but honestly, patience is going to be your greatest ally, and just being consistent. Stark, Mike, any advice for reluctant gamer? Stark says you can do little exercises step by step, but just do anything. Get up and bring it, right? And you did mention, you said something about having a belly or something like that. A lot of your progress and your lack of progress will be how you eat. Not only what you eat, but when you eat and how much of it. So a lot of your victories are going to be in the kitchen. That's all it is, man. It's just a progression. It's a progress. Look, I'm trying to flatten mine out too. So, got a little something I'm trying to work on. We're all someplace. We're all working to get someplace better. So that's why we're here. That's the beauty of everybody coming together. This collection of people, between yourself, Stark, Mike, John when he comes in, Jacob, Bella. Like, we've got some really good regulars going on. Prince comes in, Arnav, Goku. Like, we've got a bunch of good people. Rory. So enough protein to eat is important, says Stark, and do rest days. At rest days, just rest. Don't do anything. That's also important. Great advice. Yeah, I would meditate on those rest days as well. So you get to really reflect on how your week has gone. Maybe do some journaling. And let your process be mental, emotional, as well as physical, spiritual. Like, have that sort of full-bodied experience. I think it'll really help you expand in a lot of ways. And that way, you may not feel down on yourself if you didn't have the week that you thought, or, you know, things like that. That's where I've always felt that just like reflecting at the end of every day, end of every week, you know. Stark says he does 1 day exercises, workout, 2 day rest, and workout days. You do a so-called 2 split, 1 upper body, second workout day, leg day. Nice. Thinking about some good mornings. Just trying to keep myself kind of tucked away over here. Stark says go first day upper body, second day rest, third day legs, fourth day rest, and so on. Yeah, you've really got a strong regiment. Hopefully that's something not only someone like Reluctant Gamer, but just anybody watching can take some bits and pieces from. I'm at the point I'm grateful just to have like my grouping when I come in each day. So I mean, I'm doing the push-ups every day, but today some back and bicep. Yesterday we had chest, tricep, and some legs. Tomorrow do some shoulders. Stark says when you want to know how much protein you have to eat, it's 1 gram of protein per kilograms of body weight per day. I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that same thing, and I probably think most people don't eat that much protein. If you're in any sort of first world uh, economy, depending on what your laws and legislations are like, but like here in the States, they are willing to sell us so much like processed foods and just basically things with poisons in them. So, I mean, you have choices in what you do eat, but when it's just so readily available, I see people eating chips and like just really no nutritional value. And it's not a judgment. It's just how people are brought up and the society we live in. You do whey shakes and it works. I like the plant-based proteins. Yeah, for sure. Throw in my good amount of vegetables. A lot of times I'll throw in kale or spinach as well. Looks crazy, but it works. Make with Mike says, do you watch the guy that always tries to sell that health book but is pretty good in life about the grain from the wheat, grain being degermanized or replaced with chemicals? No, I don't know who that is. The health book. Is he like a fitness person, or is he just like a doctor in this sort of stuff? Stark, spinach is such an underestimated superfood. Absolutely. Mike says, in processed wheat flour and sugar is processed unless it says cane sugar. Yeah, absolutely. Vivek says he'd whoop me. You can already tell. You probably would, because I'm not gonna fight back. I'm not into violence, man. We got bigger and better things to be about. I mean, I'll defend myself, but yeah, just to go and trying to fight people, we're on something different here. But you're welcome to subscribe to the channel and hit the like since you're here. Mike says all sugar is chemical processed unless it says cane sugar. Yeah. Six, seven, 8. Mike says, quit drinking sodas. Yes, man, I don't buy it anymore, but I do slip up sometimes. I notice when I do feel like crap, just water and unsweet tea is all I drink now. Yeah, soda, I haven't had that for years. It's just that, energy drinks, all that sort of stuff. Stark says, when you want success out of your workout, you have to go zero sugar, nearby zero fat, and high carbs. Mike says, the thing that says enriched grain on the back of breads or fine flours is also bad. You want organic flour. Mike says, and whole grain, not enriched. Absolutely. All of those enriched and bleached flours and all that stuff. Yep. And going back to the sodas and all that, yeah, when you can get away from that stuff, especially because it's liquid calories. People drink it like it's nothing because you think that you're hydrating yourself. So it hits even worse than the foods do sometimes because it's just soaking into your body. Like liquid calories are dangerous when you are looking at people walking around with like 44, they're up to like 72-ounce thirst busters. You can fill that with soda. How much sugar, dyes, all that stuff is in there. Mike says the guy, has really long dreads and he wears reading glasses and he's always promoting planting food. I think his book is called Everything We Need Is Free or something like that. Cool. If you find that, I'll try to look for it, but if by chance you can drop me a message, even just in one of the videos or something, a comment, that would be awesome. Stark says drink water, you will get used to it by time. Yeah, I've had talks with people where they say they don't like the taste of water. I'm like, that's because you have really just changed your whole thought about flavors and things like that. I can't imagine not liking the taste of just like clean water. It's like not liking the smell of fresh air. Mike says enriched is sound to make you think that it's rich in vitamins, but it's not. It's a chemical process where they enrich and replace the grain with another grain that's chemically built to last. Yeah, yep. It's all preservatives. It's all preservatives. I'm loving the knowledge in this chat today. Oh, I appreciate it, Mike. Stark says stay hydrated is also very important. You have to drink 2 to 3 liters of water. Yeah, absolutely. Keep your circulatory system going. Digestive. I mean, it's good for brain function, all that stuff. And it's hard, especially during the summer. You drink water, but we don't realize how many liquids we're putting out, how much fluid we put out per day. I think I might have the place to myself. So this is what we're looking at today. What I love about this place is it's all, generally in the morning, it's all elderly people. And they're only in here on the cardiovascular stuff. So it's easy to share. And then they're out. They'll do a little circuit and they're out. So we get the benefit. His name is Jabez. Okay. Man, I appreciate that. Awesome. And then I'll make it a story so other people can check it out as well. Thank you, Mike. No, thank you. That's awesome. About watching 10 videos, yeah. That's what we need, is more people like that. There's a lady on Instagram that's very similar. She's got dreads as well. I think it's called Surviving Vegan is her channel. And she's just putting out all sorts of knowledge on. It's almost like there's the second wave of people who picked up where Dr. Sebi left off after he passed, who are just embodying and then putting out this knowledge. I think Dr. Sebi was just way ahead of his time, and he was dangerous because of all the knowledge he was passing on. I'm guessing that's where the lesson is short-lived, but it's powerful. Mike says Jabez uses the term a naturalite is not just eating chemical processed food. Stark says, I personally do supplements as well as vitamin complex, mushroom complex, black mica complex, fish oil, and ashwagandha. Nice. Nice. Mike says, just with natural food, and he definitely want to be a naturalite. Yeah. Yeah. Try practicing is key. Absolutely. It's just like we were saying to Reluctant Gamer. Everything is a process, and you got to build yourself into it. Not only do we have to, like in his case, be able to train the muscle and the mind to be able to do these things, to stay consistent and disciplined, but it's just like when you have to unlearn years, decades, a lifetime of eating habits. It definitely has to take time. I always say a speeding train doesn't just change direction. It takes miles and miles and miles to stop it. It comes to a stop, and then it slowly starts progressing in the direction it needs to. Just natural foods, yes. Like when people give you the answer to something difficult, knowing the answer isn't key, practicing it. Yeah, understanding why that's the answer is the huge part. Absolutely, Mike. And sometimes it's more difficult to unlearn something than it is to learn. Absolutely, because we're so used to it. Stark says he does creatine as well. The only thing I'm doing is just protein shakes. That's about it. I could probably definitely use some more vitamin, nutrients, stuff like that. I don't do poorly as far as my nutrition, as far as how I eat. But, sometimes when we're doing a lot, we can definitely stand to do more for what we're putting into our body. Mike has 20-pound dumbbells, using a few hammer curls and standing traps. Hey, that's it. Work with what you got for sure. Mike says, Stark building a machine is true. With all of that now, we have historic blueprints. I know. And hey, if you weren't in the chat, Stark has a fantastic recipe for toasting his oats. He's got a process for toasting his oats in the morning when he's doing like oatmeal or things like that, mixing it with berries and yogurt. And there was something else that he used. Starts with an S. I had never heard of it, and I'm not sure if it's just something that in the health food industry or if it's something German, but hopefully he's still on and he can drop that in for us. Yeah, we got Stark Enterprises for sure. What up, Rory? What's up, man? How you doing today? Rory is coming to us from New Zealand, and fantastic story as well of just being out there and doing his thing every day. Man, love to see you in the chat. Appreciate it. We're we got the 100 push-ups down. We went over, we did 4 sets of 10 on the pull-ups. We did some cable rows. Now I'm just doing some curls. We did a little bit of good mornings with the 25. We've just been doing a little bit of everything, but today's kind of a back and bicep day. How's your day going? How are the kids? Susie will be in a little while. Uh, yeah, she's such an amazing person. I have to try to catch her. She comes in about the next 20 minutes. I have to grab her. I'll let her know. I told her yesterday after the live ended, and my apologies yesterday. It just cut off out of nowhere. There must have been something in the Wi-Fi here. But yeah, definitely, she's here every day. She works here. She's like an administrator and stuff like that. Stark Industries says when you started to work out in the first 2 months, you gained 3 kilograms of weight instead of losing weight because your body instantly grows muscles. Yeah, it is wild when you realize that. Like, hey, I'm supposed to be losing weight because we always associate weight loss with exercise with losing weight, but once you start trading like the muscle for fat and you see the transformation, it's crazy. Sometimes when I train people, their weight was the same, but then they were saying like their pants were fitting different, or their dress size went down, but then they were still weighing the same. I said, yeah, it's because all that extra fluff is shrinking. You're just exchanging it. It's an exchange rate. Let me grab some water while I'm in between everything here. Let me jump on the scale too. Let me see what I got. All right. Stark, I am about 85 kilograms, which translates to roughly about 187. All right. I think all I need to do is really finish up with a few more ab things, and a little bit of cool down stretching. So I can definitely get the stretch off to the side. We've been at this for a little over an hour now. I am truly grateful to be spending this sort of time with you guys. Rory says he just got back into the gym a month ago, and because you quit for a while, your noob gains came back. So we're going exponential muscle gain. Yeah, the noob gains. Yeah, I know that. Oh, I'm just trying to get stretch, and I gotta keep eating too. Put weight back on, right? Yep, for sure. I've actually been gaining weight this last month or so. Uh, I'm not mad at it though. I don't feel like I'm terribly out of shape. I know, like as far as cardiovascular wise, I'm not in the same shape. Uh, but that's okay. You know, it's all a process. But I realized how sore my glutes are today. Let me see if maybe that works. That might be a better angle. Hopefully nobody thinks I'm filming outward, but that's okay. It's easily explainable. Ugh. Start says it, Rory. I tell you, go to the gym and do first day upper body, second day rest day, third day legs and six pack, fourth day rest, and so on. You will see success quick. He promises. Oh. Ooh. As my glutes are sore. I can feel every bit of that. Every bit of this. This is one of my favorite stretches too, though. Especially when you can get down on the ground. I'm just standing today and doing it, but that pigeon stretch is a favorite. Oof. I enjoy the supine. Just getting that nice kind of yoga stretch. I try to put this hand over here so it really kind of brings me all the way around. Right. Rory says you're hitting upper body mainly for the next few months, so chest, arms, and back, no rest days, just a lot of sleeping, eating KFC. That's gonna hit different. What are you getting from KFC? I'm gonna get down here. I'll try to implement abs and legs when you cut. Any chance I can get to stretch out my lower back is always a good feel. I know my hamstrings are still a little tight from yesterday, so the hamstrings pull on the glutes pull on the lower back muscles, so you know, we just want to stay limber, keeping ourselves limber. Rory, are you hitting the gym every day? Stark says, Rory tried plain chicken, cooked with no additional fat and stuff. Oh. Yeah, it makes me curious, like what the what KFC is like in New Zealand versus Germany versus the UK versus the United States. I can remember growing up on it for the most part. Rory says 12-piece chicken bucket and gravy. New Zealand has the best gravy on earth, I swear. Good amount of fat on it to help with gaining weight. I'm hitting the gym every day after work. You're working, sir. You are doing your thing. Rory, how long has KFC been in New Zealand? I'm sure it's been for quite some time, but I just remember almost my entire life knowing of KFC. And I had a cousin who worked there when I was a little kid, and she came to live with us, and she got a job working there. So every day, she would bring home like just buckets. We had so much free chicken that we were having to put it like in the freezer and things like that. So I can definitely remember KFC being a thing. Almost the entirety of my life. I can't remember the last time I had KFC. The last thing I know that I had from KFC was the biscuits. But that was many, many years ago. We're just trying to get some stretch in his legs. Rory says Maori food is full of fat, boil up and smoked, eel, obesity. Really? For some reason I would have thought like eel would have been better. That's 20 odd years, yeah. Yeah. Business is business, it'll go everywhere. Stark says KFC in Germany is freaking expensive in the first place. Really? That's crazy. But that's where like eating out in the first place is always like a detriment, because it's just draining your resources. When a lot of the meals that I know I'll go out and get, I could probably make it home, but a lot of times like when I take my daughter out or my kids out, I'll definitely want to it's like the experience of going out and doing something. So sometimes I'll acquiesce to that and say, you know what, we know why we're going out, but we stay at home and cook more often than not, because I'm helping her learn kitchen skills, having her like on chopping the onions and tomatoes and like prepping a lot of the foods. A bucket from KFC in Germany is around $25. Wow, I'm gonna have to look and see what the prices are for here. Again, I haven't looked in forever, but yeah, those family packs and stuff like that, they'll throw in like a bucket of chicken, 3 sides, and charge you $40 for it, and they market it as like a deal. You know, in the commercials you see everybody laughing and having fun, but it's expensive. Roy says eel has a ton of natural fat on it. Very delicious. Tastes like Wagyu steak. Good source of energy. Better option than takeaways. Yeah. Oh. What I need to get back to is just the doing a lot more of the salads, the leafy greens, dark greens. Got a big bag of kale. A lot of times what I'll do is like with my kale, I'll throw that in with my eggs. Like when I'm done working out, and my meal afterwards will be a big thing of eggs. And I'll put a lot of kale in there. Rory says New Zealand KFC is $15 for 30 pieces of chicken and some chips and large soda. I guess I don't know if that's expensive. Like I don't know what the rate is like when you say US dollars versus like what the what money for in New Zealand is. I think that's all, yeah, all relative when you talk about cost. Now I'm curious to try eel. There's we've got an Asian market here, and they sell things like that you wouldn't be able to get just like at a regular store. So I may have to try that. Any particular way you prepare it, or is it something that you can eat raw like sushi? Or that's the hard part about like getting food sometimes, where it's like, okay, this is a little exotic. How do I prepare it without messing it up? Stark says a single bucket around $25, but nothing additional, just the freaking bucket with 10 chicken pieces. And when you want some fries and soda stuff, you have to pay extra on it. That's crazy. Yeah, I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's just the resource, the ability to get. I don't know. Like you would think, like you could get chicken anywhere. I don't know if there's. I would think it'd be more expensive in New Zealand for some reason. I don't know, but that's interesting. And I would search it now, but I don't. I know what'll happen is it'll like click me off the live or something if I go try to search something. So the mystery will be for now what a bucket of U.S. KFC is. They had pot pies for a while, and I'm not sure if they still have them, but I love a good pot pie. I love shepherd's pie. I think I've had Bangers and Mesh a couple times, but I love stuff like that where it's like, I don't know, gravy and vegetables and stuff like that. I love the pie sort of feel of it. But to Stark's point, a lot of those things have the enriched flours and things like that in them. Not too good for you. Roy said Asian eel is different. New Zealand longfin eel is smoked in the smoker, extremely delicious, surprisingly good for you. That sounds good. That sounds good. New Zealand may have to be on the bucket list. And come out and try some smoked eel. Damn. Yeah. Stark Industries doesn't go to KFC and stuff when you want to eat in a restaurant. I go to a Japanese restaurant, and I eat fried chicken and ramen soup. It's 10 times better. Fried chicken and ramen soup. I've never had that. I've seen it. Generally, I don't eat too much fried stuff, but uh, hey, every once in a while, we got to treat ourselves. Um, I love Asian dishes. I'm still like now. I still want to go try the eel at the place. I know it's probably not going to be the same, but just being able to check it out and diversify the palate. Get used to different tastes. Get used to different cultures and things like that. I'm guessing we lost Gamer a long time ago. And I think Mike had to get about his day as well. But this thing that I've been sitting and stretching on is exactly what I was trying to tell Gamer he could utilize to not have to be all the way down on the ground and just be able to do push-ups on something like this. I think it's less strain on the body, especially for people starting off. So I know people always want to start at a particular place, but sometimes that's not the reality of it, and you just have to go with where you're at and build from there. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So it is about 7 o'clock. You know what? Susie may have came in the back, Rory. I was hanging out to see if Susie was here. She may have come in the back door. So let me see. Rory, absolutely. Absolutely. That would be one of those cool things if one day get this built up enough to where you can travel and hey, just pull up. Good morning. Just pull up and do push-ups with people in random parts of the world that have been supporting, everything from day one, because this doesn't get built without you guys' support. Stark says I also don't eat much fried stuff, but sometimes like once a month, yeah, I think that's good mentally. If we know we're depriving ourselves, sometimes you have to reward yourself sometimes as well. So it's just like when you're saving money, sometimes you go out and buy that little something or that little extra something that is going to, give you that feel good, but without doing too much. So, whether people like playing video games, so you get a new headset or a different controller or that pair of shoes that you need, then sometimes these things will serve you in return. So I'm all for that. I think we need the good endorphin release and the good what am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Endorphins. I'll go with endorphins for now. All right. Thought I was done, but I'm not done. Maybe I'm going to do some hanging knee lifts while I'm here. Rory, that is the key. That's why I want to start getting people sending stuff in for that very reason, because I want to expose other parts of the world and show other people and other cultures and other parts of the world working hard as well. So even even if you guys want to send videos where it's not you showing yourself, but you do this angle where you're showing the outward angle of going on your hikes, of what it is you're doing in the gym, or whatever it is, just getting some different content and start showing what other people are doing is it's the goal. it's definitely the goal. All right, let's see if we can do some hanging knee lifts. Stark, what's up? That's cool, man. That makes my day. That makes my day. You're the first one. You're the first one. Do you mind if I tag you in it? Rory, do you have access to like cable stuff like this at your gym? Cool. So if I were to suggest something, I've always liked something like this, being able to come and kind of squeeze from the underside. I don't know, I've always liked that, bringing it together and up, and I can feel that squeeze under there. I haven't decline benched in some time, like, where you're leaning back and you're benching this way. That was, I think, I used to do like way back in the day. I haven't done that for a while. Generally, because there's not like a freestanding bench here. I'll show you guys what we got. So we got a Smith machine, but you see, like, there's no area for there's like an actual bench. So I work with what I got, and that's where that kind of can limit us sometimes, but not necessarily. Coach, you got any information or advice for lower chest?
Scott Henry said that's a myth.
It's a myth?
It's genetics.
All right.
The whole decline bench.
Decline bench?
It's just a myth.
Okay.
He said that's one muscle that activates. That's coming right from the horse's mouth, Scott Henry.
Okay.
That's genetic. Probably more body fat than anything. Because that, once incline helped because of the movement. We did decline type stuff.
I remember decline, yeah.
But we did it more because, especially when you're shedding blocks, that's a movement.
Right.
But as far as cut, that's more genetics and body fat than anything.
All right, guys, you heard it from Coach. I got a guy in New Zealand, Rory, who's asking about it.
Yeah, that's, we used to do that decline thing where I kept like a cut.
Yeah.
More just like calves, you all calves in the world, but it's more genetics than anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I was cursed. My family was cursed by the village witch. Okay, so the gentleman that you just heard speaking, he's the coach here. He was the football coach, but they got rid of the football programs, but he's still here. He had a short stint in the Denver Broncos camp for the NFL, and the guy he was talking about, Scott Henry, is like a professor of sports science and medicine and stuff like that. And what he was saying is that that's really more of a myth, building that area. You might be able to shed like body fat and shape it up, but not necessarily build it. Like what I was just saying with like a decline bench. So might just be that you just do those bench, do your regular chest exercises. But that's what I just got. Stark, awesome. Definitely, because what I don't want to do is give people, I want to give people credit, but I don't want to give them unwanted attention, especially on social media, if that's what they're not looking for. So I appreciate that. Definitely shout you out on both Instagram and on YouTube. Rory used to do decline but didn't get much range of motion. Yeah, I always felt it was a very short rep because of the angle that you were at and things like that. Because you're trying to push directly down, can't push out, because that's a very crazy angle to find yourself at. Bench and dumbbells, yeah. Had you seen the cable stuff that I was talking about, or ever tried it? I never know. A lot of times I'll just like try things and see how it works. All right, we'll do one more set and get out of here. You know what? You're not wrong. I think with dumbbells, I felt like you could have more resistance. I felt like the cables, one, because you're in line, it forces you to go to what the cables want. And two, I always felt like it did something, it hit different. Didn't allow me the movement that dumbbells would. So I think you're definitely onto something. So I don't do really the low cable things anymore. The majority of my workouts for chest this last couple months have only been the push-ups. I don't come in and do too much of a full chest day or anything else like that. If I do, it's like maybe once a week, maybe even into the next week, because I know I'm doing the push-ups every day. So I'm okay with that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's just the cables. I don't know if something about dumbbells and cables are different, so you're on the right path with the dumbbells. Yeah. Let me ask, have you guys ever tried the 100-second hang, where you just hold and just try to hang for 100 seconds, which is, I think it's like a minute 40 seconds. I mean, one, it's great for your spine, just to kind of elongate, let blood get in there. All right, Stark, I appreciate that.
I played college football with a guy from New Zealand.
Did you?
He was their 100-meter sprint champion, Reese Darcy.
Reese Darson?
Reese Darson, about 5'7", buck 10 max. But could run, just couldn't catch.
Ah.
Reese 5 for speed. I'd be a top 2 pack pick in the NFL. Because if I had your skills, I'd be a top 2 pick in the NFL.
Right. Rory, have you heard of Reese Darson?
This is back in 1985, 84, 85.
84, 85? Yeah, look, you're a 100-meter champ in New Zealand, Reese Darson.
Played football at Utah State. We had a couple guys. We had another running back who was really good, a native New Zealander. He was from the junior All Black.
The All Blacks rugby, yeah.
Why does man got 8K raised already? I want to be a Trevor and get 8K.
Stark, yeah, I always laugh.
Right before his time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I am. Yeah, like Coach was saying, calves. Sometimes you're part of your genetics, but we work on it. So, but that's. I didn't think anybody heard the joke, the undertone joke, but I appreciate that. All right, I don't see Susie. I was hanging out. I was waiting to see if she was going to be here. And you know where I know I'll probably see her is in the parking lot going out, but I think my connection will cut off. But we'll give it a go. Let's give it a shot and see. See if we can find Susie now. I got that little bit of abs in, got everything else. So we can head out and it will be time for a shake and a little bit of food. Susie not in today?
She's not in today.
No, guys on live were asking if she's in because she's jumped up. You want to say hi?
Who's Susie? Or not who's Susie? Who's asking for Susie?
So this is Taylor, guys.
Taylor gang.
Taylor gang. There we go.
But no, Susie's not in.
Okay.
Working from home today.
Taylor.
Oh, shit. Oh, hi, Natalie. My bad.
You got longer arms, you can get it yourself. Yep.
I am. Are you in tomorrow?
Yep.
Alrighty,
Who
alright.
asked for Susie? Who asked for Susie?
Guys in New Zealand, Germany, people in the live.
Are you doing a live?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, you want to say hi?
I would love to say hi.
Alright.
Hello, world.
I'm down to one at this point, but what's your name?
Elle.
Elle? Elle. This is Elle. This is Elle.
Hi.
Alright. Alright. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Adios.
Adios. See you, Coach. They said they're all asking for Susie. Oh, I knew it. It's going to start acting funky. So I may have to cut this. Well, we'll just keep going. But as Stark says, maybe Susie don't go to the gym. Maybe she has other things to do. She's working from home. And they said, hey, Taylor, yeah. Hello, sweetie, from Germany. Yeah. Yeah, she was kind of looking at the phone. And so, yeah. So, and it's going to start just cutting me out. So, I'll keep going. But in the meantime, I appreciate everybody in the chat today before it cuts me off. Guys, have an amazing day. Oh, there's a little jackrabbit that ran away. It's getting choppy, guys. Subscriptions are free. And I appreciate you guys in the chat today. Rory, Stark, everybody else that was in. Yeah, for sure. We'll be at it tomorrow. But Stark, I'm going to hit you up on Instagram and tag you in the post today. So much love to you guys. Have a fantastic day. HWPO, hard work pays off. Impact Athletics Association. And I'll show you this a little bit as well. So again, there's more tennis courts. It's a bunch of tennis courts. Way down there, some racquetball courts. And then over here is like a baseball field. But